Greetings, horror fans. This is your favorite horror geek, Joby Snyder, and I am actually really excited to sit down and review and talk about this film because I have so much to say about it. I think it's such an important franchise in the horror world. Um, I just have so much to say about this movie. Guys, we are talking about the 2026 horror film Scream 7. I remember actually first seeing the trailer when it first dropped on last Halloween. At least that's when I first seen it. I'm pretty sure it was dropped on Halloween Day. It might have been before, but I'm almost certain it was dropped on Halloween Day. And I remember seeing the trailer, and even though the last two films, which we'll talk about, really disappointed me in different ways, I seen this and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm not against it. I'm for it. Um, I'm for the idea. I was pretty excited. And then the anticipation of waiting for the film to come out was, when you get that way when any of your favorite films or a film that you really want to see comes out, you're just excited and you have hopes and you have expectations, and then you finally get to see it. I want to go out on a record and say I love the Scream franchise um, from 1 to 4. Scream 5 came out in 2022. And we actually, my friends and I, we went to the theater, we saw it. And I was so highly disappointed in that film um, for several reasons. I I hated the reveal at the end of the killer. This is supposed to be the climax, and I hated the reveal. There were no real deaths in that movie that excited me, except for the death of Dewey. That was, I mean, I guess we saw it coming, but neither here or there. Um, of course, we get Sydney and Gail Weathers and Dewey, but it wasn't about them. They were actually just like side characters, and we get this new story with the sisters, and we get these new characters, which I'm for new characters, but nobody we wanted to see more Cindy. I think we wanted to see more of the characters that that we're used to. It's fine to introduce new characters, but when you're going into a movie like this, you kind of want more, and we didn't get that. So I was very very disappointed with Scream 5. So then we go to 2023, and then we get Scream 6. I wanted to love this movie. Um, there were so many great things about this movie, so many great things, but I just can't get past Sydney not being a part of it. It didn't feel right. It felt like we were missing an important piece of the puzzle. Like it just didn't feel right. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm trying to enjoy it, and I'm kind of into it, but I was still not focused. I was still not 100% pleased with this film. Strictly because there was no Sydney, and it just didn't feel right. I know there was reasons why Nev Campbell didn't appear in this film, but it just didn't feel like a Scream movie. So now we jump to 2026, and the trailer for Scream 7 comes out, and holy shit, Nev Campbell is back, and we hear that this is going to focus on Sydney and her family, and I couldn't have been more stoked. I love that she's returned for the film. I was really hoping, because if they were going to continue to do these films, this franchise, you have to have Sydney. Nev Campbell's still alive and well. She has to be a part of these of the story of this movie. So I'm really excited that we got Nev Campbell back. This felt more like a Scream movie. It felt like this was, we were in the right place. We were in the right place with Sydney. This is Scream. This is Ghostface. This is what we're getting. The storyline, I really enjoyed that. This is not just about Sydney, but about her daughter and Sydney's family, and she has two younger children as well, that are not actually in the movie. They're visiting her husband's mother, so their grandmother. Um, but I do love the fact that they made Sydney a mom. Like they gave her it was really cool to see her play that kind of character, the supporting wife and the loving mother, and still be an independent woman. It's really about Sydney coping with her trauma and coping with her drama and trying to be there for her daughter, trying to be a good wife, owning a business. She's been through hell and back, so she's really trying to you know just kind of live her life and live out of the darkness. um, the really cool thing that I enjoy about that whole aspect, of Sydney having a teenage daughter, and she named her Tatum, which is awesome. And she explains later in the movie to her daughter why she named her Tatum, bringing up the character from the first film, which I thought was it's a really great monologue at the end of the movie. But I really enjoyed this because I'm also a huge fan of Halloween H2O. I think it's one of the best Halloween movies that they came out with. If they could have just left it there, I would have been happy with it. I love Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie, you know, fighting through this trauma and having a teenage child to take care of and try to give a normal life, but all their baggage is kind of leaking out onto them. That's exactly what Scream 7 does. It might be copying, I guess, because it's almost the exact same thing. Sydney's, trying to be good to her daughter and trying not to be, so judgmental and overprotective, and her daughter just wants to be a kid and be with her boyfriend and not live in fear like her mother does. And I think that's a really great concept. Yes, I also, it's also been overplayed and overdone. I can remember seeing an interview about the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 2025 I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Jennifer Love Hewitt stated that she wants to be a part of it, but please, she said, please don't make me the mom. Don't make me the mom. And I think if they would have, this would have kind of been like, okay, this is getting kind of, you know, overdone. But Halloween H2O came out in '98, if I'm correct. So there's a big jump between Scream 7 and that movie, but still the aspect of Sydney's a mom now, and she lost her mom at a young age at a difficult time, so she's trying to be everything she can for her children, and of course, her oldest, her 17-year-old daughter, Tatum, is a little rebellious and kind of doesn't want to live in fear with her parent. And I think that's really important in this film. I love that Gail comes back. Of course, we get Gail Weathers. It left in the sixth film. It left you wondering, well, did Gail live? Did Gail get it? Like, we're not sure. But if she was going to get a death scene, it would have been well known. So leaving it up in the air like they did in the sixth film, you kind of knew that you you know that Courtney Cox was returning, and she did, and she's great as Gail Weathers. But the one thing that I didn't like about this is we don't get enough of her. Like I said in Scream 5, we don't get enough of them. Or Sydney, Dewey, or Gail. We don't get enough. We didn't get enough of Gail. I know this is focusing on Cindy and her family, but Gail is a important part of this franchise and of this story. And she comes in gun swinging, and it's great. But then she kind of dies off, and you don't see her in the final act helping Cindy kick the shit out of the killers or whatever you want to say. You don't get that, and it didn't feel like she should have been there too. She was mostly just kind of like in the shadows, and I didn't really like that part of it. I think that she should have been more of her. I am tickled pink that we get more of Cindy. I really do. I really do love that about this movie because, like I said, without Cindy, it's not really a Scream film. It's not. It doesn't feel like a Scream film. Um, I am not. I am not pleased with the kills in this movie, guys. I was very, very disappointed. The opening scene was great. Honestly, I did enjoy the opening scene. I thought it was a real unique way and a real fun way to kind of get the new movie going, and the kills in the first scene were pretty good, and then we get another kill like towards the middle of it, after we see Cindy again and see what her life is now. And once the kills start to go on, we get a pretty decent kill that was pretty cool. And then later on, there's one more. And there's a few kills in this film. And you'd think that all of them would be great, and they weren't. Nothing to write home about. I was highly disappointed for it being a Scream movie. The kills were kind of mediocre for me. And I felt that way about the last two, 5 and 6. I was just they just weren't. They don't make them like they used to, as they say. Um, um, we got to talk about the main reason why this film fell flat for me. Um, completely completely fell flat. Um, there were talks about Matthew Lillard. I can't say his last name. Shaggy. um, reprising his role as Stu. And what a great fucking idea! Like what a great way to do this. It even says on the poster, "Fear hits home." So we're going back to its roots. They're going back to Sydney. It's been years now, and wouldn't it have been so cool for the character of Stu to be alive this whole fucking time? And now he's back in the mask and wants his revenge on Cindy and her family and anybody else that gets in his way like that. That sounds fucking awesome. Um, and then it just that's not what we get. He's in the movie and he surprises his role and he gets to be in it, and that's great, but they do it in a way that is so absolutely fucking stupid. and so disappointing. When she first got the call, when she's in her office at her job, and the phone rings and she's talking to Ghostface for the first time in this movie, eh, that's exciting. That's what we're waiting for. And then we see FaceTime, and we see Stu on the other side of the camera talking to Sydney, and I'm like, okay, for one, why are we bringing Stu in it now? It's so early. That doesn't make any sense. And then throughout the film, she gets FaceTimed by him, and you see Matthew. I can't say his last name. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, we see Stu on the phone, and he's threatening her and all that. So it's like, what? Okay, there's got to be like a catch or something. This isn't making any sense. And everybody's going back and forth. Well, what if Stu has been alive all this time? But what if he's AI and somebody's using AI to fuck with Cindy? And to make a long fucking story short, guys, that's exactly what it was. The real killers, the people that were the killers, were using AI to make it look like Cindy was talking to Stu. But they confirm in the movie that Stu is dead, and he's been dead since '96. So it was just an AI tool, and they use this to bring back former characters like Billy's mom, that was the killer in Scream 2, and then Cindy's brother Roman, that was in the killer in Scream 3, and they also bring back David Arquette, and they're just using them as AI simulations. What a fucking stupid idea. I know that we live in a different time now, and I know that AI is huge. I get that. And if you want to be up with the times and you want to add that, that's great. I get it. People use AI every day now. I get that. But this was just a piss poor way to do it. And it was a piss poor way to bring back Matthew and put him in this movie and not give him the role or the screen time that he deserved. When the reveal of the killer came up on screen, it was time to find out who Ghostface was. We would have been shitting our pants if we had no idea that Matthew was even connected to this movie, if they kept it a fucking secret and didn't throw it in the trailer and throw it all over online. If we got to the reveal scene of who Ghostface is, and he takes off that fucking mask and Stu is underneath it, we would have shit ourselves. We would have jumped up and cheered. We would have that's a reveal. And if you're gonna use the character of Stu, you should have done it right. You should have given us something to go, holy shit. Because I haven't felt that way about a Scream reveal since Scream 4. That reveal blew me out of the fucking water. I did not expect that coming. I had no fucking clue. I was shocked. It was fucking great. And I haven't felt that way. There's been 3 other films since that Scream 4 came out. And the reveals are just not what they used to be. And this reveal, by the time the reveal actually comes and we find out who the real killers are, I don't care. I didn't give a shit. I was actually just kind of ready for it to be over with. And I mean, and that sucks because we got Cindy doing her thing, protecting her daughter. Her daughter's a fighter too. We see that they're fighting the killers. They know who they are now. They're trying they're doing their thing. Cindy's doing her thing, and I'm so detached. I was so detached by it, and that's not good. That's a movie, especially in a franchise that shouldn't make you feel that way. That shouldn't. You should be invested. Some movies are better than others, I guess, and these last three Scream films just didn't cut it for me. I do want to go out and say again that Nev Campbell is fantastic in this movie. She's absolutely, she's badass. She's her performance is believable, and it's just, we're back with Sydney, and I really do love that about this film. Um, but that might be the only good thing about it, unfortunately. And I hate to talk shit because, like, I mean, I love these movies, and I think it's a great franchise, a great series of films, as a whole. But just when you have the opportunity, when you're a filmmaker, you have the opportunity to do something like this, and you go with with what they went with. It was just utterly disappointing. Like, AI, really? Like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm upset. I was upset, guys. I mean, I don't know if anybody else feels that way. If you've seen the film, if you haven't seen the films yet, spoiler alert. I'm not going to give away who the killers are, but it doesn't matter because at that point you're kind of not interested anymore. Like it just kind of like falls flat, and personally it did for me. Um, it really did. But Nev Campbell has confirmed that Paramount is working on Scream 8. So, which I'm assuming that Nev Campbell will be a part of, and so we're the surviving cast. Um, all I can say is do better, guys. Like, give us something that, I don't know what more they could do, um, to shock us, or to give us something we haven't seen yet in this franchise. I have a few ideas, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'm keeping my ideas to myself. They could do so many things. I'm excited for Scream 8, even though these last three films kind of pissed me off and left me disappointed. I'll still be pumped when, the trailer for Scream 8 comes out. I'll be pumped when shit starts coming out with it. Like I was for this film. Um, but honestly, guys, if you haven't seen it, don't take my word for it. Have your own opinion, and if you're looking for something to watch tonight, go watch Scream 7. Um, as always, I'm Joby, the gay horror geek, and I appreciate you all listening. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay safe, stay scared, and happy watching.